That everybody, but especially every writer, has a trip that changed their life. Do you have a trip that changed your life?
Yeah. About 20 years ago now? No, not less. 18 years, I don't know, around 18 years ago, I walked the Camino de Santiago in Spain. That changed my life.
Walked it.
Yeah, and I was in a bookstore waiting for my girlfriend at the time. I just sort of picked up some book, you know, and it was some guy who walked the Camino de Santiago in Spain. I just sort of, that's kind of weird. I bought it, and then it sat on my bookshelf for months, and I got on a plane, was getting on a plane, I was looking for something to read, I just grabbed it, read it on the plane. When I landed, I said, I'm going to do that. So I went, so in 2 weeks, I guess, but I didn't know, then there was no internet or anything to find out anything, and I didn't know, I never heard of the Camino de Santiago, which is this old pilgrim's route across the north of Spain that started in the 8th century, you know, the Crusades and the reconquest of Spain from the Moors. And so it was written by a guy named Jack Hitt, who I didn't know anyone who wrote books. And so it said he wrote for, I think, Harper's Magazine or something. Anyway, I called up whatever magazine it was, and I said, hi, I'm looking for Jack Hitt. No, hold on. And the guy, yeah, Jack Hitt. Hi, Jack. My name's Andrew McArthy. I read your book. It was so cool. And he's like, you read my book? And so I said, yeah, you know, so I said, I want to go do that. How do I do it? And so he started to tell me, and then he sort of told me, and then thanks a lot, and bye. And I had some more questions, and the next day I called him up again. And he goes, I can't talk, call me at home later. Well, that was a mistake. And so he gave me his home phone number. Wow. So I called him that night, and I go, listen, I need a backpack. And, you know, so anyway, I called him pretty much every day. And finally his wife started answering the phone, and Jack's not in. Jack's not in. And so I went to Spain, and I walked across Spain for a month. And it was, it was just a transformative experience for me. I found it terrifying, and I was lonely and miserable for most of it. And then something happened, and I had sort of one of those experiences that you have, and it just, I went there to see if I could take care of myself in a certain way. I didn't know that at the time, and I just discovered that I was taken care of in a certain way. I mean, it wasn't a religious experience, but it was some kind of experience that I had where I felt unafraid in the world for the first time. On a deep level for the first time. I had the experience of being unafraid. And I was carried so much fear with me in the world all the time that I didn't even know that I carried it until it was suddenly absent for a short time. And that changed my life. And that started me traveling, that experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
It was great. Yeah, I'd love to do it again someday. With my son, if he wants to do it, or my daughter, but you know. But it's one of those things, do you really want to go do those things again? You know? Right. I don't know, but it was great. Yeah, it changed my life.
How long did it take?
A month.
And you're staying in little inns?
You're staying in little refugios, little sort of pilgrim hostels, which, you know, truth be told, at a certain point, I was a gold card pilgrim. I just said, I can't take this, you know. Where's the pensione, you know? I mean. And then I justified this, but I want to meet the locals. I don't want to meet the Germans walking. I want to meet, you know, the people who live here, and I want to have that experience. And so, half the time I slept with the sweaty pilgrims, you know, with my backpack rolled out in the bunk beds, and half the time I checked into little inns. You know,
that works.
It was great. It was great. I much preferred sleeping at the inns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.